Greetings. It's really a joy and a pleasure being out here in nature and greeting you. Want to have a conversation this morning, and this conversation would be about the power of forgiveness to manifest anything that you desire in this world. That is such a magnificent power, okay? And I really want you to familiarize yourself with this power that has been known to man from since the dawn of time. You see, when it comes to forgiveness, that is just another word for unconditional love. Get that? I'm gonna make sure I repeat myself with that, okay, throughout this life. How when I speak of forgiveness, I'm speaking about unconditional love. It is unconditional love, which is true love, which they refer to as the agape love, the God love. Which means, if you're going to discover the God love, you have to definitely discover God's self, to love like God. Because to love like God is to have unconditional love, which means no judgment, which means no condemnation. So when you do not have any judgment and condemnation towards yourself, then you wouldn't have any judgment and condemnation towards others. And the reason for that, because everything exists in consciousness, in your awareness. So the first person you must forgive in this world is yourself. And what are you going to forgive yourself of? You're going to forgive yourself of amnesia, forgetfulness, which is basically you born in this world having this human experience, and you start in a state of innocence or a state of ignorance, in a state where you do not even have any concept or any awareness of your existence. And as you continue to grow, and as you continue to expand, then you start to become more conscious and more aware. And so you start to learn new things. And these new things that you start to learn, it helps you to expand and grow more. For example, if you look at a child will remind you of your upbringing and also your experience. Because a child can be easily programmed, because while growing up around the age from which you come from your mother's womb right up to age 7 or 8, those are actually your formative years. Just like how you can format a computer, so too you can program a child to think and act and believe a certain way. And so most people were not programmed to love themselves and believe in themselves and to appreciate themselves. So when I speak of forgiveness, you can't think about others before you think about yourself, because everything starts with self. That's the message I'm sending to you. So if you want to manifest anything in this world, you have to know that it starts with self. Which means the only thing or the only one that can block your blessings or block you from achieving whatsoever you would like to achieve in this world, it's your own self. Because there's a part of you that wants to elevate you, and there's a part of you that doesn't want you to elevate. And so there is a war. But if you're going to win the war, you can only win the war with love. And you cannot love without demonstration. So you see, there's a difference between expression and demonstration. You see, anyone could express themselves by words, which means anyone can say anything. And that is why most people who do not have the right concept of who they are and who do not have the right concept of love and who do not have the right concept of forgiveness, these people will talk one thing and they will live another thing. That right there is me describing to you religion. And so if you have a religious mindset, you will never be able to forgive yourself, neither would you be able to forgive anyone else. It doesn't matter what you say, because it must be demonstrated, which means it must be done by action. And you cannot produce those actions once you have guilt, shame, doubt, fear. And the biggest of all is fear. That is why all religion uses fear to captivate you and to keep you crippled. How? Psychologically. So my brother, my sisters, if you can appreciate yourself just as you are, knowing that you are in a receiving and allowing mode because you are on this frequency, listening to people like myself and others, and you realize it because we have the same kind of mindset, then you will understand why only those who have love will attract others like themselves. So love would always attract love. Doubt would always attract doubt. Fear would always attract fearful things. Hate would always attract hateful things. So when it comes to having your desires met, when it comes to living an abundant life, when it comes to living a fulfilled life, you have to understand that as long as you reach to that place of maturity where you can forgive everyone, because you realize that everyone is just another version of you, and that it is based on their consciousness. They are doing and saying the things that they are doing and saying, and believing the things that they are believing. But because you understand how your mind works, you now can understand why people are doing the things that they are doing and why people are living the way that they are living. And when you reach to that place of having that kind of understanding, you're on a higher level to attract things in your life. You're more on a magnetic and electrical level. That is why you have to start with forgiveness, because forgiveness and love is the same thing. So my brother and my sisters, there's no one to blame but self. There's no one to change but self. So if you cannot believe in yourself, no one can believe in you. If you cannot trust your intuition, no one can help you. Now, one of the main reasons, or the main reason why I am sharing this message with you, it is because of the way how my life has changed when I learned to forgive. And I didn't know that I was living with unforgiveness in my heart. You see, when we go wrong with certain beliefs, when we go wrong with a mindset of lack and scarcity, when we go around with a mindset of doubt and guilt and shame, when we develop a religious and a superstitious mindset, when we develop a negative and pessimistic mindset, it would give an effect, because everything is cause and effect. And when people get the effect and they do not understand the effect, they would want to change the effect, but they don't want to remove the cause. And so I'm saying that you are the cause. Okay? Which means you could be the obstacle in the way, because you fail to let go, because you fail to accept change. You see, when it comes to unforgiveness, people could only see it one way, but you can see it from many different angles. If you continue to dwell in a mindset that is keeping you being a borrower and not a lender, a mindset that keeping you being beneath and not above, a mindset whereby you live in your life like a victim, and you believe when they tell you that you must look on the outside for a savior, and you fail to believe in yourself, and you fail to walk towards saving and redeeming yourself from the shortcomings that you're facing in life. When you do that, it is because you haven't learned about forgiveness. You haven't learned about love. You haven't for one day accept yourself. You haven't for one day believe in yourself. The reason why some people think that manifestation don't work. The reason why some people think law of attraction don't work. The reason why people believe that certain things are evil while certain things are good, it is because they haven't forgiven themselves. Because if they really forgive themselves, they would understand balance. They would understand that the light is to reflect the darkness, and the darkness is to reflect the light. And when you have that kind of understanding, then you would know that everything that is happening in your life is a lesson to teach you to grow and expand. So when you have unforgiveness in your heart, when you have self-doubt and self-hate, do you realize that when you believe that you are a sinner in need of a savior and you're looking for an outside savior, do you know you're practicing self-doubt and self-hate in your life? Do you know that when you cultivate a religious and superstitious mentality, that you're living your life based on self-doubt? And that is why you will never be able to forgive yourself or forgive others. You realize that all the religious people around the world can never overcome gossiping. If you ever experience being around anyone who's religious, you would realize that they cannot speak in love. It's always judgment because they're using a measurement. And the reason why they're using this measurement of good and evil, it is because of the lack of understanding of the law of opposites or the law of polarity. You see, you can't accept the light, but you do not accept the darkness. What do I mean by that? We all go to bed every night, and the darkness is an indication to our bodies and to our systems, and our systems start to react a certain way. As the sun goes down, so too we going down and we going to bed. And as the sun rises in the morning, so too we are rising up out of our beds to continue this life. So it is based on light and darkness. So too in your mind, there is the positive and the negative. So what are you going to do? You're going to change your mind so that all you would think is just positive alone. It will never happen. What I can say to you, that you can think more positive than negative. But you have to accept the fact that the negative will always be there and the negative will come around. But the negative will come around for you to exercise how much you trust the positive. So you need the negative to help you to activate the positive. Because the negative is where it helps to showcase the positive. So my brother, my sisters, that is why when you learn the power of forgiveness, it is you learning to love yourself and to believe in yourself. And when you love and believe in yourself, you love and believe in others. You support others. You uplift others. You all want to bring a message to uplift others, not a message to pull down others. Okay? There are people who believe that their mission on this planet is to change everyone to think and act their way, to have their belief system. But life doesn't work like that. If you go to one extreme, you will get a certain result. And if you go to another extreme, you will get a certain result. But if you understand balance, you will understand perfection. You see, we live in a world where people normally say, no one is perfect. But I will say, no, everyone is perfect. Because the man who says, I can't, and he really believes that he can't, he's correct. And the man who says, I can, and he really believes that he can, he is correct. That is why it states, as a man thinketh, so is he. So if a man believes that he have infinite divine power within himself to love unconditionally, because he understands that everyone possesses this same power, but not everyone knows how to activate that power. And so, because you know how to activate that power, and you know it is based on energy, vibration, and frequency, you have an understanding that a person is acting the way that they are acting because of the vibration and the frequency that they are on. And that vibration and that frequency have to do with their mentality. So when you understand the power of the mind, and you understand that everything is mental and everything is psychological, when you realize that everything was first a thought and everything was first an idea, you would be able to understand why people are doing the things that they're doing. So my brother, my sisters, there's no room for judgment and condemnation. There's no room for unforgiveness. And I'm speaking about yourself. You see, you're casting judgment on yourself when you say certain things are expensive. When you say, I can't afford. Whenever you speak anything negative in your life, you're living in unforgiveness. You haven't forgive yourself, which means you haven't truly loved yourself unconditionally. So you're looking for certain things for you to feel love. But I'm telling you, love, true love, it casts out all doubt and all fear, and it adds no sorrow. My brother and my sisters, if you be honest with yourself, you would know when you have yokes around your neck that make you have to face in the credit union every month, and you have to face in the bank every month. That is yoke that you are carrying around your neck. And when you carry those yokes around your neck, it is because of something in your mind that allow you to become a creditor. There was something in your mind that make you believe that survival is based on you being a borrower or a creditor. And so you put less value on your own energy because you fail to realize that all wealth, you fail to realize that all prosperity, all abundance, all money, all riches, it comes from one power. There isn't 2 or 3 powers. But unfortunately, when most people believe that there's 2 separate powers, they live their life in unforgiveness. Because why? They are blind to who they are. So my brother and my sisters, this forgiveness I'm speaking about is love, whereby you're told that the greatest commandment is to love your higher self, your true self, with all your heart, with everything you have. And that would reciprocate to others. That's why you say, and your neighbors like yourself. Because you would realize the neighbors, they are yourself. Just different version of yourself. And you accept the different versions of yourself. So, my brother and my sisters, the more you understand this knowledge I'm sharing, is the less likely you would become religious and superstitious. And the less likely you would believe that when you do certain rituals to attract wealth and abundance in your life, that you would ever believe that it is wrong or that it is demonic, like they would want you to believe. But it's not true. Okay, your body is the greatest piece of work ever put together. Your life here is a miracle. The intelligence that tells the chicken to pick its way out of the shell of the egg to have a chicken experience is the same intelligence that is in you. Therefore, use that intelligence to live your life, whichever way you want it to be. That is what I'm saying to you. And for you to use that intelligence, it starts with self. You have to accept yourself. You have to believe yourself. Therefore, you can't go around looking on the outside for some entity to save you. You can't go around believing someone going to come and save you and deliver you. You have to know that the power to save is within you. The power to deliver is within you. Because if you're going to accept the things in this world that you would call prosperity, or you would call wealth and riches, or you would say you are living a certain life, a certain lifestyle. If you look at all of these things, they were all force a thought and force an idea and force imagine in someone's mind, which means that person had to love and believe themselves. They couldn't sit down and depend on some outside entity to come to them. Okay, they had to believe in themselves. So my brother, my sister, I can go on and on and on, but I think I've gotten the main point that I wanted was to get across to you. Okay, you have to love yourself. And when you do that, and you do it unconditionally, you will find forgiveness in your heart, because you will definitely know how much it is important for you to appreciate everyone, because they're just another version of you. All is mine. So my brother, my sister, I want to thank you very much, and I want to encourage you to check out my work in terms of my books. The links are down below. If you would like to book a one-on-one with me and we go deeper down the rabbit hole, you can book a one-on-one with me on an app called Fatia. If not, you can reach out to me by way of email, and we can set up a one-on-one on whatever platform you like to have that one-on-one. Okay? And also, I have a Patreon community, and if you like to become a part of my Patreon community, you're welcome. And I have a course there called The Inner Sun Science and Technology to Create Your Reality Consciously. And along with that, a bonus course on self-concept. So it is very, very important for you to have the right concept of self. And it is very important for you to understand how the sun and the human imagination are no different. How the sun parallels the human imagination, and the human imagination parallels the sun. Without the sun, there's no life and there's no light. And without the human imagination, there's anything made that was made. And even the Bible, which is a book of mind science, okay, and also a book of the sun, the S-U-N, it tells you that the Lord thy God is a sun, a S-U-N, a light, enlightenment, illumination. He says a light and a shield, and no good thing will he withhold from you. That's why I'm saying to you, the only one that can withhold the good things that will come to you is you. So let go. And let the infinite intelligence lead you and guide you in every way. So as I come to a close here, my brothers and my sisters, remember to practice daily meditation, affirmation, scripting, mirror work. Do all these work. Okay? Mindful breathing, and so on. And you start to discover for yourself that when you really and truly appreciate who you are, that nothing will be kept from you. So with that being said, my brother and my sisters, I want to thank you very much, and I will definitely see you in another life. Peace.